Hello. So this video is a little lengthy, but this video is for people who can't remember their experience or are having trouble writing their experience or telling me that they don't have any experience, because trust me, you have experience. In this video, I go over techniques on how to remember your experience, put all your experiences on paper, because newsflash, I was not there with you. I cannot remember your experience for you, so that's up to you, man. All right, so I go over how to remember it, how to put it on paper. I also give you tons of examples on how to write it. So if you're like, I don't know how to write my babysitting experience, I give you so many tips on how to write your experience. I have tons of examples based on my own experience and how I would write it if I was including that experience in my application. Along with all that, I give tons of helpful tips. And at the very end of this video, the very end, I have a whole list thing of tips that you can take a picture of so you can remember what the tips were as you're writing your experience. So definitely watch the entire video to understand what I'm talking about, to understand the tips that I'm telling you, and to understand how to write it, okay? So again, sorry it's a little lengthy, but if you're really stuck, very confused, this is the video for you, so enjoy. Hello, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Catherine, and today's video is all about experience and the experience you need to teach on Outschool. What experience do you write in the little, background question on Outschool? I've touched on this on my application walkthrough video, so if you're applying to Outschool, I highly suggest you watch that video. I don't highly suggest, I demand you watch that video. No, I'm just kidding. I don't demand. You don't have to watch it, but I only say that because it is packed full of information. So when I say highly suggest, I mean whoever you are. If you want me to literally sit next to you and write the application with you, that's the video to watch. But I still get this question, so I decided to make a whole video about it for you. And let me start by saying everyone has teaching experience. Yes, you watching this video, you have teaching experience. You have teaching experience. I suggest you sit down, you get a little pen and some paper, and you write literally every single experience in your lifetime where you taught a child something, whether that be your own children, your nieces and nephews, you were some sort of leader, teacher per se, you guided youths somewhere, so camp counselor, Sunday school person, a substitute teacher, an assistant teacher, a babysitter, nanny, you tutored some kid, you're an online teacher, you were an assistant coach, you overlooked children, you were in charge. Literally write down every experience where it is you were teaching children in some sort of educational environment, or just working with children in general, just working with children. Write down literally every single experience in your lifetime, and I guarantee you're gonna probably have like 15 or 20 or a billion. I don't know. Definitely start there. Just brain dump. Really think. Literally make a space. Give yourself 20 minutes to write down everything that comes to your mind of any instances. And again, this could be children, your nieces and nephews, your second cousin twice removed, your best friend's son, I don't know. Anything. Literally anything where you were in charge, helping a child, even if you're not in charge, if you're assisting, if you're just helping a student or a child under the age of 18, learn something or do something or participate in something, write it down. Write it down. I don't care what your title was. I don't care if you were a teacher or a camp counselor or a babysitter, a nanny, a mother, a sister, a daughter. I don't care. Write it down. I will wait while you go do that. Welcome back. I know you just paused the video and did what I told you to do. You better have that list. I feel like you don't have that list quite yet, but I'll move on anyway. I sat down just now. It took maybe 4 minutes, and I really thought back all the way back to middle school, to high school, to college, and now even more experiences are popping in my head, but I'm not gonna write it down. And I thought of literally a ton of experiences, and again, more popping in my head, but I am gonna stop now for the sake of this video because I'm not filling out this application. You are, and I'm here to help. I sat down and I wrote down everything I could possibly think of, and there were a lot of experiences. Again, I could have filled probably the next 4 pages with them, but just, working with kids, teaching kids something, doing, teaching them something of some sort, or helping them participate in some way, or overlooking, helping them through. I was working with children. We understand the point. Do this, okay? I promise you, if you give yourself just to cut out 10 minutes, it's not gonna take you 10 minutes, but cut out 10 minutes to just sit alone and think back of every experience you've ever had working with kids. So I'm gonna tell you some of mine. Also, I just wanna make something very clear right off the bat, just real quick before we dive into this more. I think I already touched on it, but I wanna make it very, very clear to you that I am not a brick and mortar teacher. I have never stepped foot into an actual classroom other than when I was a student. As a teacher, I have not. I've always been a virtual teacher. I have teaching experience in different ways. That's probably where you're coming from. So just keep that in mind. I was an accountant up until a year ago, and I've always been an online teacher since March 2018. So, and on my application, I put 8 years teaching experience because of all the teaching experience I'm about to go into right now. So keep that in mind if you're like, oh, she does all this. Catherine has all this experience. Yes, our experiences might be different, but you have your own teaching experience. Like, I didn't go to Kenya and volunteer at a preschool and help them rebuild a church. I didn't do that, but you might have. I don't know. Or even if you've taught your nieces and nephews something. I don't know. But please, if I hammer anything into your head, it's that I have 8 years teaching experience, but I'm not an actual legit brick and mortar teacher. Okay, that's what I mean by legit. I have teaching experience in other ways that amount to what I call 8 years, since actually it's probably more than that now if I think about it, if I've been teaching swim lessons since I was 15, but neither here nor there. Please understand that. So if I have teaching experience, you have teaching experience. Please do what I say in this video so that you can find your own teaching experience. Because if you email me saying, hey, I don't know if I have teaching experience, I'm gonna send you this video. And I'll be like, think about it, you have teaching experience. I wasn't there. I wish I could tell you what it was, but I wasn't there. So anyway, back to what I was saying. So I started out with the most obvious, the ones that I remember the most, which were, swim lesson teacher, I tutored the YWCA, VIP kid teacher, Palfish, Go-Go Kid, assistant coach. I helped with the swim team. Even though I wasn't a coach, I was a swimmer, and I still helped with the swim team. I helped the little youngins. It counts. And we're gonna go into how we're gonna write this, okay? But stick with me, Story, stick with me. I was head lifeguard, so I helped other lifeguards. I was a pool coordinator, which means I was over the lifeguards, so I helped rally them up and teach them how to do all the stuff. So that counts because I was like 22 and, they were 16. Teaching my brother. I've taught my brother lots of things. He's 2 years younger than me, and I like to think I've imparted some wisdom on little Patrick. He's 24, but he learned a lot from me, so, or at least I like to think so. Teaching nieces and nephews. I have second cousins, or like my cousins had kids, so it counts. Oh, kids room at the country club. So I used to work at a country club, if you know my life story, and there's a bunch of different departments in a country club. One of them is a childcare center. So did I explicitly ever work in childcare? No, but I did occasionally help sometimes. Randomly they would need help and I would just go over there. I had many hats at the country club. I did everything. I was even an Easter bunny one year, which I honestly could put on here, but I'm not going to. So that counts. And then I even thought back, I was like, oh my gosh, in middle school they had something called Special Night Out, and it was on Wednesdays. It was Wednesday nights, and children with disabilities would come and we would all play together. It counts. It counts as volunteer work. On the swim team, it was older. They were younger, the guppy children, if you will. They were 3 to 5. They were very small. I was older. I would help them learn how to swim. I would teach them how to swim. I would watch over them until their parents picked them up. Okay? Did I do that every day? Was that explicitly my job? No. Does it count as experience? Yes. And also, what popped in my brain is I used to, this is for extra credit, but it counts. So when I was in college, I was an accounting major. Again, I was never even an actual teacher. I was an accountant up until a year ago, okay? So if I have experience, you have experience. Back to what I was saying. So I was an accounting major. I was taking a tax class, and your girl hates taxes, so I need all the extra credit that I could get. And part of the extra credit was going to the Civic Center in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, and teaching QuickBooks to older people. Yes, so that's what I did. Did I know QuickBooks explicitly? No. Did I go? Yes, your girl needed extra credit badly. I may have had to retake the class, but it's fine. We passed, everything's good now. But that experience counts. I was teaching someone, they were adults, it counts. So definitely go through this list. Now, am I gonna put everything on here? Oh yeah, I was also a babysitter. I babysat some kids. It counts. It counts. Now, am I gonna put every one of these things on my application? No, we don't have the time. I don't have the patience. No. So I'm just gonna pick the things that stand out to me most, things that I think are most impressive, and that would be swim teacher, just because I've done it for so long. So I'm gonna circle swim teacher. I circled tutor at YWCA. Now, how long did I actually tutor at YWCA? Probably 6 weeks, like 3 months. Now, was that every day 3 months? No, that was like maybe 2 or 3 times a week, max. Okay, so don't get bogged down with it. And did I explicitly tutor them every day? No, I was more of a teacher's assistant almost. It was my mom's friend and I needed volunteer credits to graduate high school. It's literally what this was. And I did it, and look, it paid off then because I graduated high school, and it pays off now because I became an Outschool teacher. Am I gonna say tutored kids 14% of the week? No, I'm gonna say I tutored them. I helped them with their homework, their math homework, their science homework, their everything homework, and I go into detail into what subjects, how old these kids were, all that, which we'll get to in a second. But I just wanted to point out, was I, you know, on my resume, do I write YWCA tutor? No. I volunteered there, I put under the volunteer work, but talk yourself up, okay? Talk yourself up. I was gonna say this later, but I think it's important to say now. Just so you know, Outschool's not gonna go look up these things, okay? It's really on the honor policy, all right? That doesn't mean lie. Do not lie under any means, but talk yourself up, okay? So, like I said, I explained that I was a YWCA tutor. I talked about their age, what subjects I taught them, what we learned, all that stuff, blah, blah, blah. I didn't say, I only went there maybe twice a week for 3 months. I was in high school. No, because if I was in high school and I'm 26, that makes it sound like it was a long time ago. Because that's like what, like 9-ish years ago from now. That sounds like a long time ago. I wanted to make it sound more recent. Now, am I lying? No. Did I put the years? I don't think I did. Would it matter if I did put the years? No, you can put the years. I think they prefer you put the years, actually. But, anyway, it doesn't matter. I could have put years. It wouldn't have mattered. The important thing is I taught kids. I tutored them, and that's the point I'm trying to make. Other than that, I also put, you know, as a VIP kid and Palfish teacher, because that is, you know, I am the teacher in that situation. It is online. It looked really good on the application for an online teaching company, so that's why I included it. Those are the 3 things I put on my application. Could I have included more of these things? Absolutely. So let's just take teaching my brother, for example. I'm sure you have a sibling of some sort. So let's say he was in 8th grade and I was in 10th grade and I helped him with some math homework, okay? I've always helped him with homework. I would occasionally help him with homework. Now, does this mean every night I taught him something? Does this mean every night I helped him with homework? No, because honestly, Patrick's really smart. He got like straight A's in like engineering programs, and I got like I said earlier, I had to retake that tax class. So Patrick and I are very different people. Patrick's my brother, by the way. But I can totally put on here that I helped him. So I would say something like, I also wouldn't put that he's my brother, because you don't have to. Now, do they care? Probably not, but if you ask me, it sounds better if you don't put brother, niece, nephew, anything like that. Just put you taught a child age 14 math. There you go. And I would also change child to children, because maybe you taught his friends too. You know? Do you understand what I'm saying? Don't lie, but talk yourself up. Don't downplay your experience, because if you're not confident in your experience, why should Outschool be? You know? And if you're not a confident or secure person, well, fake it till you make it, okay? This is a great way to start. I also put assistant coach over swim team. Now, I was never a coach. I was never a swim coach. However, I was on the swim team. I was one of the older kids on the swim team for a period of time because I swam in high school. So, you know, the coaches were gone. I was in charge. I would look over the kids. You know, we would still swim. I would still teach them techniques. I would show them how to do this. You know, this is how you breathe in freestyle. This is how you do your legs in breaststroke, blah, blah, blah. It counts. I would explain that experience. I would say, yes, I taught kids, you know, ages 4 to 7 how to, I keep hearing noises. Lord, don't take me now. I taught kids 5 through 7 how to do this, how to swim, how, you know, this is the technique we used. If there was a game that we played, I would explain the game, I would explain the activity. Very important, if you explain how you taught them. Don't just say you made it fun, because everyone's gonna say that they made it fun. Okay, explain how you made it fun. How did you make it fun? Did you make a game? And if so, what was that game? How did you play that game? Did you have trivia? What was the trivia about? Explain what the trivia is. Do you understand me? I also could have put that I helped with the childcare room at the country club, because I did. I totally helped. Was I explicitly a childcare worker? No, I was some weird title of accounts receivable accountant and lifeguard coordinator. I don't know, but very weird times, very weird times. That's another thing I could have put on there. That I taught the lifeguards how to lifeguard and how to manage the pool, and I did all that stuff. Also experience of teaching children, because I was older. I taught them how to run the pool. But yeah, was I explicitly a child care room person? No. Could I put that on there? Yes, because occasionally I helped, and I worked with kids, and I would look over them, and we would play games, and I would entertain them. I could also put my assisted taxes at the Civic Center thing that I was talking about earlier, my extra credit shindig. Totally could have put that if I wanted to. I was just explaining I taught adults ages, they're probably like anywhere from like 25 to honestly like 70 how to use QuickBooks. It was very interesting. They're also from Greece. It was very interesting. It was fun though. I would explain that. I would explain how I taught QuickBooks. I would explain what we did that day. It was like every Sunday from like 2 to 4 or something like that. But and I only went there like 4 times. So enough to get the extra credit. Because honestly, I did not enjoy that. I did not enjoy teaching about QuickBooks. So, or if it was babysitting, explain what you did when you babysat. So you can put babysitting if you want. But again, like I said, talk it up. So maybe instead of babysitting, look up a synonym and say something like, I was a caregiver for, caregiver sounds like nursing home. Look up some synonyms if you want to, but a babysitter and nanny should be okay. But you can always jazz it up. That's what I'm trying to say. Elaborate, be confident in what you're talking about, but explain, you know, you looked over her, or, you know, children. I would keep it broad, keep it general. Children, I wouldn't say him, her, you know, I would say I babysat children ages 3 to 12 for 5 years, and I would make babysitting fun by playing these games. They were not only fun, but they were educational because I taught them left hand, right hand. That's something one of my babysitters taught me because we were playing Twister, and she literally wrote L and R on my hands, and now I never forget. Or we would play, you know, a game that about math and explain what those games are, and again, just talk yourself up, talk it up, elaborate, be confident in what you're talking about, because if you're confident in yourself, and again, if you're not, fake it till you make it, talk it up. Pretend you're writing about somebody else. Talk it up, because I get tons of emails saying, I have all this experience, but I don't know if it's good enough. Make it good enough. Just talk it up. Is my experience good enough? I don't know. Guess it is, because I got in. So I hope you understand what I'm trying to say about experience. Literally everyone on this planet Earth has experience in one way or another, teaching children, educating children, working with children in some sort of way, and you have that experience too. So like I said earlier, write down, go to a quiet room, give yourself 10 minutes, write down literally every single little thing about any working with children instance, write it down, pick, I would say 3 to 5, okay? Your 3 to 5 most favorite, most, you know, what you think would be most impactful, most, you know, relevant to Outschool. For example, I would talk about my VIP kid teacher job over, you know, teaching my brother something, just because this is an online company. It just makes sense, you know? But yeah, and I also, if I did pick teaching my brother, I wouldn't call him my brother. I would say I taught children ages 12 to 14 math for all his life, or all their lives. So I hope this makes sense. Please do what I say in this video. It'll help you out. It'll help you write out your experience and make yourself confident in your experience. Again, be confident in yourself, and then Outschool will be confident in you, and then they will want you, nay, beg you to be a teacher. Okay? Okay. So anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe if you have not already, and give this video a big thumbs up. I cut myself earlier today, Not the point. Give this video a thumbs up because I can't. Just kidding, I can. Okay, I'm sorry. Thank you again for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video. Okay, bye. Congrats! You made it to the end of this video. Yay. I just want to explain these tips a little bit before you read them and take a picture of them, just so they make even more sense to you if you skipped all the way to the end, which, if you did that, go watch from the beginning. Much more helpful, much more beneficial. But just want to explain these tips because they might sound a little weird. So obviously do the techniques that I listed in this video on how to remember experience, put all your experiences down on paper, pick the best 3 to 5 experiences that relate most to Outschool, so what would impress Outschool the most. For example, if you need to list one more experience and it's between being a VIP kid teacher and volunteering at a farm that happen to have kids nearby, obviously pick the VIP kid teacher. It's going to look more impressive to Outschool than, you know, the volunteer thing. And most importantly, confidence is key. If you don't have confidence in yourself or your teaching experience, why should Outschool? And if you don't have confidence, girl, boy, whatever you are, fake it till you make it, okay? Which just means talk yourself up. The last point that I mentioned is Outschool is not call references. They don't go fact check your application or resume or anything. It's really on the honor system. Now, I only say this because I think a lot of people get really like bogged down or just really nervous, you know, because, you know, maybe, I hope you don't fall under this boat, but if you do, if you're thinking, oh, you know, you're not confident in your experience, you're thinking, I was an assistant teacher, but that wasn't good enough, this isn't good enough, all my experience isn't good enough, you know, I could have done better, I didn't volunteer that much, blah, blah, blah. A, confidence is key, talk it up, elevate yourself, and B, they're not gonna call, you know, the actual person overlooking this program or position or whatever you're, you know, not necessarily confident about, okay? So just talk yourself up. That's all I'm trying to say. Do not lie. I do not say this to say lie about your experience. Do not lie. I tell you that so in case you are not confident, in case you are insecure about your teaching ability, your past experience, I hope that gives you comfort in knowing that Outschool's not gonna go back in time and find the people and, you know, see if you were spectacular or anything like that. So remember, confidence is key. Talk yourself up. Your experience is valuable. It is perfect. It will work for Outschool. You just have to word it in ways that are impressive and talk yourself up and make you a perfect asset for what Outschool is looking for. And if none of that made sense, go watch the video from the beginning 8 more times so you understand what I'm saying. So anyway, here are the tips. Have a great life. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.